Hello ladies and gentlemen, Keaton here and welcome to Nuclear Throne update number 36. Now for those of you who do not know, this is the one time a week where we here at Tengu Drop take a look at the latest Nuclear Throne update, grab that changelog, put it into video format for your viewing pleasure, and show you as much as possible. With that said, before we head into update number 36, let's take a quick look back at update number 35. Update number 35 introduced a new weapon called the Toxic Launcher, which as the name would suggest is a grenade launcher with a twist of toxicity. Also introduced in update number 35 was the early workings of a progression map. Currently, it only keeps track of how far players have gotten, but Vlambeer promised improvements and additions to it in the future. Finally, update number 35 included updates to the throne art, general tweaks to horror were made, and golden weapons got a little more shiny. 40% shinier to be exact. As always, if you would like a more in-depth look at update number 35 or want to read the changelog for yourself, be sure to head over to last week's video for everything update number 35. Moving on to update number 36. Update number 36 introduces a brand new weapon called the Flame Cannon. Much like the Toxic Launcher introduced last week, the Flame Cannon is a hybrid of sorts, this time mixing the devastation of the Lightning Cannon with the hot touch of a flamethrower. Much like the lightning cannon, the flame fires a large, slow-moving, high-damage projectile, but instead of lightning, the flame cannon's projectiles emit 4 continuous streams of fire. It'll eat through ammo pretty quickly, requiring 3 ammo per shot, but the devastation it leaves in its wake is arguably worth the cost. But before you go burning down entire colonies of bandits, a word of caution. When the fire cannon's projectile runs out of steam or hits an enemy, it will explode. So always be alert of any flaming balls of death in the vicinity. Now that we've covered the hottest new addition to the game, let's cool down with a look at the latest fixes and changes this week. First up in the art department, the Toxic Launcher's art has been updated to give it a more unique look, and for any players out there powerful enough to take down the throne, will be able to check out its new death animation and corpse art. Now moving on to all the Venusian space gangsters out there, I come bearing good news. Young Venus's Pop Pop and Brop voice effects have been restored. While on the subject of Young Venus, much like we saw last week with the golden weapons, the golden chest is now a lot shinier. If you've been finding it difficult to keep the rad canisters alive for some odd specific reason, good news! Larger rad canisters are now a lot more durable. And speaking of rad's horror, that adorable blob of green goodness now has its own preview image in the main menu. And finally, there were a couple of display fixes to Big Dog and the laser crystals. As always, if you would like to read the full changelog for yourself, you can find a link to it in the description below. Now let's check out what the community's been up to this week. Last week, Steam user Solid presented the community with the fish-centric classic RPG challenge, won once again by challenge veteran Wizard. But it should be noted that there were a lot of great attempts by various players. This week, Solid has a new challenge called the Crazy Hedgehog Challenge. The robot-based challenge will ask players how far they can get while only being able to use a handful of less than stellar weaponry. Be sure to check out the challenge for yourself for more detailed instructions, including a list of guns allowed for this challenge. And if you ever want to get a leg up on the competition and maybe learn more about the metadata behind what makes robot tick, be sure to head over to the Nuclear Throne wiki and brush up on everything Nuclear Throne before attempting to topple the Wizard King. This week, the Nuclear Throne community has been provided with some great pieces of art, including one drawing of chicken from Tumblr user Lance Arts. But this week, the Nuclear Throne community was treated to a different form of creativity in a short fanfic revolving around the gals of the Nuclear Throne cast. And that does it for this week's look at update number 36. Vlambeer have noted that after spending significant amounts of time on the throne and horror, they needed some time to recharge their batteries, which explains the smaller update this week. Though this week still brought some pretty great additions, including the Flame Cannon. Vlambeer have also stated that they will be at both Gamescom and PAX this year in some capacity, so be sure to show the guys some well-deserved love if you see them there. If you haven't purchased Nuclear Throne and you'd like to learn more about it, be sure to check out nuclearthrone.com. You can also subscribe to Vlambeer's Twitch channel, where they live stream development of the game every Tuesday and Thursday. Subscribing gives you access to Nuclear Throne emoticons to use on twitch.tv, as well as a Steam copy of the game. And of course, we here at Tengu Drop do our best to cover the latest Nuclear Throne update every weekend, and we also do Nuclear Throne playthroughs every Thursday. So be sure to check back often or just subscribe to the channel. As always, I'm interested to hear your opinions on the newest additions and changes made to the game, so be sure to leave them in the comment section below. And as always, thank you for watching, hope you enjoyed it, hope it was informative, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye!